Welcome back to the Escape Collective Tour Daily Podcast, everybody. I'm Caley Fretz. We come to you following the 16th stage of the 2024 Tour de France. A thrilling sprint stage, one might say.
Jasper the Master strikes again. We're pumped.
Jonny and Iain are pumped, but not because of Jasper the Master.
This is where we are right now is the antithesis to Jasper the Master.
It's my favorite hotel
so far.
Tour de France.
We'll put the photos of it on Discord.
If you remember my article about what to expect from our Tour de France hotels, we're in the place with the pink man with the pink cocktail shaker making pink drinks.
And it is so much more than that.
We
are in the middle of
wonderland.
nowhere in hot armpit France between Avignon and Nîmes. And
next to a freeway.
Right next to a freeway.
Surrounded by cicadas, if you can hear that.
Yeah, you can hear that.
Apologies for that noise, yeah.
And it's as if this hotel, which is a branded hotel as part of the Accor group, so it's not just some mental person, redesigned it. But if it had been, it would have been remodeled during the Barbie craze of summer 2023.
In fact, in the lobby, I looked around because I wanted to find a picture to take, and there was like a life-size one of those Barbie,
like the box
boxes
that Barbie comes in.
So I hopped in that, and then
with a pink telephone.
They told me, "You need to take your prop." So I got my prop telephone, and got Jonny to take a picture of it for me, which was nice. But yeah, there's so much pastel. Everything's pastel. The carpet's pastel. There's a basketball hoop in our room.
And my room.
Maybe it's in everyone's
There's also
room.
little tags on almost everything in the room that tells you where it was recycled from and by whom. So most of the things in my room were recycled by Eric.
So it's eco and
Nice one,
fabulous
Eric.
at the same time.
It is.
It's great. It's a real antidote to... Look, I love France. I love being at the Tour de France. But after 3 weeks, there is the dour Frenchness of everything, of sitting in they're lovely, quaint
Lovely,
squares,
but very old and very dark.
But to be just surrounded by joy.
It's just joy. It's a joyful hotel.
I like it. I'm feeling... It's given me energy.
You know who else was joyful today?
Jasper the Master.
Jasper the Master Philipse.
Yeah.
We should spend at least a couple seconds talking about this bike race. The finale was really quite dangerous. There were lots of roundabouts. There was a major crash. Biniam Girmay went down really hard. We have had update on that. Binny is okay. No broken bones. Had to get some stitches in his elbow.
Also snapped off both of his brake levers, I think.
Did he?
Which is creative.
So how did he stop when he got to the finish?
Well,
Teammate.
he sort of got wheeled across the line by two teammates, which is actually in contravention of a UCI rule, so that's interesting. But I assume that, as always, they're just going to let that one slide straight on through.
Are you doing a Ronan impression now? Because that was really good.
Thank you.
I like to imagine there was just one of the sort of shrew-looking Intermarché mechanics just waiting to catch him as he crossed the line. Just
Grabbing him by the stem.
But they didn't even... I think the bus left before Biniam Girmay got back, so there was a car.
I think
Maybe
they just put him in a car.
Maybe the car started going like 15 kilometers an hour, and then they're just going to bundle him into the moving car and take him straight off.
Phil jumped through the window.
Yeah.
Starsky and Hutch style.
Phil Bauhaus was second.
Phil Bauhaus.
Yeah. Good job, Phil Bauhaus.
Weird that his name's Phil.
Who came third?
Ya boy.
Big boy Chris
Big boy
Stoy.
Chris
Did
Stoy.
he?
The
He
Stavanger
loves a
Stallion.
sprint finish in Nîmes.
One of my... I actually entirely missed the finish because I was getting a tick dug out of my leg by the EF doctor.
We will come to that
We'll
later.
come to that later. So I had to go watch the replay. And so I'm just after the finish, and one of my friends texted something, but this must have been before the actual finish. Like maybe he was guessing who was going to win.
When Uno-X, we're doing a 2 kilometer long lead out.
Yeah, so he was like, "Ooh, Christoph for the win," and I didn't know that didn't just happen, and so I ran over to Christoph and was going to get the winner's words immediately, and then realized that no one else had come with me, and that he probably had not won the bike race, because if he had, it wouldn't just be me and one Norwegian TV guy.
Well, I was having a lovely time skulking around the Uno-X bus because that's what I do if Total Energies is too far and too hot. So I got the full inside word from Søren Barensholt, who also got a top 10, which is pretty good for the big boy.
He did
waiting.
8th, yes.
So he said that he sort of got nudged off the lead out, which left Christoy a little bit exposed on the run into the line. He was pretty close, but you simply cannot beat a Jasper the Master.
Today was probably the last bunch sprint finish of Arise, Sir Mark of Cavendish.
Yeah, we were there at the bus.
How did he feel about that?
I couldn't hear because he talks quietly.
Good
so that
reporting,
only
Johnny.
Well, he talks quietly to the TV people so that no one else can hear. And the other problem at the scrum for the bus is there was someone with their fairly new baby who was asleep standing there right in like next to ITV and NBC and everyone and holding their ground. And as we all went in with our microphones, they're like, do you mind? My baby's trying to sleep. And it's like, maybe don't stand right next to where everyone else is trying to stand. So that was a bit of a, and it was so hot that, when you just get a bit pissy when you're hot. So we were all there like, please move with your baby.
There was
Please move with your baby.
Part of I think that you're normally quite good at containing your sense of heat distress. But what I enjoyed seeing, I was not in the Alps and the
you
Astana
and Caley
huddle.
were at one point were like observing from behind.
Yeah. So I watched you, and then
I like
saw
watching
you.
the really stupid calf scrum from far away.
Yeah.
I like just getting
Real
involved.
good.
Really, it's just like it's a herd mentality thing.
So I enjoyed seeing all of the people that were in that scrum come out with just like visible moisture on their t-shirts.
It was good stuff.
The fact that we still do this,
It's so dumb.
It's
because
so dumb.
Also, we're standing there. It's like our fellow like English-speaking colleagues. We all know each other. We're all friends. One person could just do it and then send the audio around.
Yeah,
Like, when
but
we all
that's
just do it.
Wrong. Because you got to get that atmos. You got to...
Yeah.
Yes, you can get the quotes, but what you're here for is to smell the armpits.
Yes. Not smells were fine. Maybe it
Were
was
they?
the freshness of the newborn baby's head that was countering the body odor. Another detail. So I'm pretty sure his Cavs agent was standing next to the bus door just to be there. I guess he was there talking about whether he's going to
How to
show
get more
next post retirement. And Davide Ballerini came off the bus with his like Tupperware of pasta. And sort of looked at Cavs agents like, maybe I know who you are, but just like little hint of disdain. But then he also had one bounty, like small bounty from the celebrations box. Do you have celebrations boxes?
no.
Okay, I'll explain for. Do you have celebrations
We
boxes?
have celebrations boxes.
So it's a box of big chocolate bars made mini that you usually have at Christmas. So there's like
Fun-sized, we call
fun
them
size,
in
yes,
Australia.
but they're not fun. They're not fun size.
Some of
Fun
them are
size is
fun.
regular size.
Well,
Anyway,
is it fun if you're having more than your daily serving of sugar?
always.
So the fun stops when you hit.
But
late
what if the
age.
fun never stops? Anyway, Davide Ballerini had a bounty one in his mouth, which is known to be the last one of the box that you consume. So I like
Absolutely not.
wait. I like to imagine that's okay. You may disagree, but that's a common view.
No.
I like to imagine that Cavendish has taken all of like the Malteser teasers for himself, and then every day he just gives Davide Ballerini like one bounty from his
no
big box of
idea what you're
celebration.
Turkish delight.
We don't have Turkish Delight in the UK one.
Cherry ripe.
No, you're talking some fuck shit right now, which is not real celebrations. This is what people talk. From all this podcast
Can we
episode, this will be
agree
the
that
discussion in
Twix
Discord
is
afterwards.
garbage?
Obviously, it's a biscuit, not
It's
a chocolate.
a biscuit in chocolate. What are
Yeah.
you doing?
Yeah, but you'd still
Twix?
eat that before the. Anyway, back to the bike race. Cav last sprint.
He was 17th.
Should have found the quotes before we started recording, but it's so quiet on my recorder and everyone else's recorder that we're gonna have to wait for the ITV highlight show to go online to watch it. So thanks a lot, Cavendish.
Chapeau.
Chapeau.
When I
There were a
when
lot,
I
of, there were a
open
lot
up
of chapeaus around the Cav bus today. It was a bit much.
when I open up Cycling News to look for the quotes,
Yeah, not there.
I mean I'm very well aware that it's Prime Day.
Oh yes, it
Jesus
was.
Christ.
It is Prime Day.
It's Prime Day. Hey, got to pay the bills.
Yeah.
Got to pay the bills. They're getting a couple bucks every time you buy some Oakley and Coder sunglasses off their little link.
Is that the
So-
ones the ones that go all the way across?
God,
The
I
one that
hope not.
Cav wears.
Yeah,
I saw one of those in the wild today.
Yes, we did with a guy with a King Cav cardboard cutout, which is dedication to
Hmm.
the fandom. I like it.
Hmm.
I like it. I mean, good on him for having the money to buy those.
Hmm.
Biniam Girmay now leads the green jersey competition.
Now leads.
Well,
Still leads.
still leads.
Continues to.
Continues to lead.
But by an extended margin.
376 to
By extended
344.
How many? So it's 20 points for an intermediate sprint. We've
It's
got a
not
breakaway day tomorrow.
Totally
There are 3
done.
intermediate sprints remaining in the Tour de France.
It's not totally done, but
Well, if Binny's injured,
if he's injured, it could.
Jasper Philipse could become even more unpopular than he already is.
Yeah. I mean, I would think that
That would be the most him thing to do, though.
there's probably the thing is the sprint points over the next couple of days are in relatively difficult to access places, right? So
at the bottom of a cliff.
Well,
Under water.
you gotta climb a tree.
dungeon with a puzzle you have to solve before you get to go in.
Just an escape room to get some green jersey points.
Well, tomorrow's
That would be great.
tomorrow's
actually.
profile from Saint-Paul-Trois Chateau to Super Devoli is uphill basically all day,
Yeah.
and what's that? 119 kilometers.
Yeah, the sprint point's
uphill.
114k in. I mean, so here's what I would, if I was Intermarché, all you have to do is take the points away from him,
Yes.
right? And so it doesn't matter who gets them. You take the points away from
Attack
Philipse.
is the best form of defense.
Exactly. So they're just going to get in breakaways and keep attacking the crap out of Philipse and not risk, like bunch group.
Yeah.
Point
They
acquisition.
should do it, but I really hope. Oh, actually, if they manage to get a few though, that stage 19 from Imbrun to Isola 2000, the sprint point is before they go up the Col de Var. It's within like the first 20k. So that could be full lead-up sprint trains to start a very big mountain stage, which is the sort of dumb bullshit that I appreciate the Tour de France is starting to include in the route.
So it's not done. I mean, this is what we said, I think, yesterday, the day before. It's not like 100% locked down, but it's pretty close. If Girmay had not crashed today and had gotten some points, then it would pretty much be out of reach. But it's not totally done. I think, I don't know. So it's 3-3 in sprint stages now between the two of them, right? And so
But which is the sprinter of our hearts?
I think Biniam Girmay.
Girmay.
Yeah, by like a fair margin. Yeah. Not that I have anything against Jasper Philipse, but
He's just won a lot before.
Yeah, he
Also,
won 4 of them last year.
Biniam Girmay is achieving this while riding for Intermarché 1-2, which should count for more than having the world champion Mathieu van der Poel provide you your lead out.
Yeah, 100%.
You know?
It's like when you get your points scaled up at school for studying Latin or something weird.
Oh, is that how that works?
Back home it is.
Okay.
Iain, can you tell me about Uno X's 2 minutes of absolute chaos?
Oh, so good. So I had a little chat to Johannes Kulset, who is the youngest rider in the race and was at the center of the chaos.
Is he? Youngest
today.
rider?
He's 20 and engaged, which is weirdly young. Just a tangent from the chaos 2 minutes is some other Kulset gear. He is one of 4 brothers,
Yeah.
all of whom have ridden for Uno X at various
Really?
points. 3 of whom still do. 1 of whom is a DS now.
Good.
And their dad is the CEO of Uno X,
The company.
the company.
Oh.
So it's a very
keeping it in the
Kulset
family.
Anyway, so Johannes Kulset is kind of a climbery guy, the smallest of the Kulsets. He had a bit of a mare. He had a crash around a corner and fell off, which happens when you crash around a corner. Scuffed up his knee a little bit. Waited for a replacement bike from a mechanic. Whilst he was waiting for a replacement bike, one of his teammates nearly crashed into him and just avoided by millimeters.
Yeah.
Then he got his replacement bike. As soon as he started pedaling, his chain fell off. He crashed again. Then got the chain back on, got a push, and started riding again. Then was following the team car a little bit too close around a roundabout. Car went the wrong way around the roundabout, off the course, whilst another Uno X car was coming the other way around the roundabout.
Yeah, how did that happen?
And the 2 Uno X cars missed each other by...
Why are they together in the pack as well? Because the idea is you separate them out a bit.
And why was one of them going backwards on course?
I think it just followed the wrong line or something.
I said this to Iain, but he didn't get the reference. I think they were doing a bit of an Uno reverse. If you're a fan of the card game.
Good stuff.
Pick up for Jonny.
I got absolutely nothing from Iain and Josh Robinson, the Wall Street Journal, who is back at the race, but is staying in central Avignon and didn't fancy
driving down to this
thing.
whatever this hotel is.
Yeah.
So anyway, Johannes Coulset found it super scary, he said. He said, I just have to follow the car. The fact that they can do a mistake like that is not good.
Kudos.
They're very honest all the
to
time.
the car that was right in front of Johannes. Because if that car had tapped its brakes,
Then
which
he
it
would have
didn't,
crashed a third time.
he
in
would have
2
smacked
minutes.
into the back of that car. But instead, the car, which certainly probably wanted to touch the brakes, given there was another car coming at it in the opposite direction,
And a medical car behind Johannes.
didn't.
Jeez.
It was wild.
Excellent
so yeah,
work.
in the space of 2 minutes, we had 2 Uno X riders nearly crash into each other, followed by 2 Uno X cars nearly crashing into each other.
Well, and this is after Magnus Cort dyed his moustache blue yesterday.
And then big boy Christoph finished
After
third.
we made the pod, so we gave people incorrect.
Yeah. Information. Which isn't like us, obviously.
No.
We did not give incorrect information.
Yeah, we said
We
that
said
it
he
was
hadn't done
still.
it yet.
Yeah, we said he hadn't
Which
done
is
it yet.
correct, he hadn't.
That's
No,
true.
it's true.
That's true.
Anyway.
So we were the
just
most
seem-
up to date
We were the most
on the
up-to-date
moustache
updates.
movements.
I saw it today in real life. I took a picture of it, which I'll put on the Discord, although people have probably seen it. It was fabulous.
His girlfriend is not happy. This
great.
Well,
this
yeah.
is the kind of stuff you get when you're reading Norwegian
That's
TV2.
Oh, they interviewed her about it. Oh,
They-
she's
they-
a fellow. She's a professional rider.
I don't know if she is, but she is Norwegian.
That checks out.
I'm almost sure that she's a rider of some sort.
Possibly.
Maybe professional.
No. No, I do know this. She is the sister of another Norwegian pro.
Okay.
But I don't think she herself is a pro cyclist.
Okay. We might get fact checked on this. It's all right.
We
It's
could do.
stage 16.
Other interesting things that happened today. We had our second flat animal of the Tour de France.
It's a
I
real
missed
good one.
this. I was too
You missed
busy smelling British chapeau armpits at the cab bus.
I was over by the DSM bus, and there was a sort of light colored, like a white, almost silvery white sploosh on the ground.
Silvery white.
Yeah, it was kind of gray, so like it was light colored,
I'm looking at a picture of it right now.
Can I see? Can I have a live reaction to?
and the
We need
tail
Oh, sorry.
had none of this same color, and so we deduced by this that this was probably an rat,
Can we
rat.
give a little bit more storytelling?
or had been previously.
So Caley showed me a picture taken from quite far away of a sort of smudge on the ground, and he was like, "We've got some more roadkill." And then he told me that it was sort of
this is the closest I get to assigning a story.
yeah. There's another dead
Yeah,
animal, boys.
Because before the Cavendish roadkill, I just went to you. Well, I'm writing about this, aren't I? And you're like, yeah, obviously.
We know what our job is.
Ian's not here yet. You have to do this.
So at around the point that I found out that there was nearby rat, we were all the buses were dispersing. So by the time that I'd learnt that there was a dead animal, the buses were starting to trickle out. So Caley's instruction of it was next to the DSM bus was not really all that informative, with the DSM bus no longer there.
It was gone.
So
Landmark had moved.
what I ended up doing was just walking along a very hot, smelly road surrounded by lots of people.
It was hot. It was 36 today.
But this is the coolest it's ever been when I've been in Nîmes.
So I was walking along further than I would have liked to, scouring the ground for something dead.
Yeah.
And then eventually I found it further up than I thought it would be.
97, by the way,
97,
Fahrenheit.
In real money, what was that?
97,
No, in real money.
36.
36.
That's hot.
No, remember we talked about this before? Fahrenheit is just a scale. 100 being like,
No, this is
fuck, it's hot.
This is the one.
so it was
point
really
that
close to that. It was really close to like, ugh.
We're not doing this again.
Thermometer man.
We always.
So anyway, I
I
found
just
a rat.
like my old.
You can
Measurement
have
devices.
You can have your Fahrenheit. Just don't inflict it upon everyone else.
The good thing about the rat that I found is that there's like one paw kind of stretched imploringly out of the smudge on the ground.
Can I see this yet?
Yeah.
I'm here with. Oh. Okay, to describe it for the listeners, although maybe it'll get posted on Discord, the tail is still.
Erect.
Wouldn't have used that word. The tail is still as if it hadn't been squashed, but then the rest of the rat is like, you know, on MasterChef when they use some sort of jus on the side of the plate as a little final dalliance. That is what the rest of the rat looks like. I did not have it down on my Escape Collective Tour Daily bingo card that would become a roadkill podcast, but here we are. In the Barbie Hotel between Avignon and Nîmes by the side of the highway.
Other fun things that happened today. I was standing next to Christian Beneveld.
Oh, yes.
And he pulled this clip up and thought it was hilarious. I don't want to throw him under the bus because it was genuinely hilarious. So, because it wasn't him that did it.
Other people had
Other people had sent it to us as well. But he was the one that showed it to me. And it was Bob Roll just swearing on live television.
Great. That's fun.
It was fantastic. What was the actual quote?
Should we play it?
Here it is.
The hell do you think you're doing? The fuck?
Well, that was fun.
That was fun. Christian Beneveld, by the way, hero. The dudes on the motos today. Like,
yeah.
I know probably not as bad as riding a bike, but also totally miserable. Like, they're wearing full, not leathers, but, modern, like, moto protective gear, and he was not a happy camper at the finish today.
Yeah, almost like he's paying penance for something in his past.
Oof. We like Christian.
He's a nice dude.
So does Wada.
Yeah. Permission to do some more serious talk for a quick minute?
Yeah, let's do it.
An update on the carbon monoxide story.
Yeah, let's do an update.
So, in the Visma Lease Bike Rest Day press conference, the Danish media get 10 to 15 minutes at the start to ask their questions in Danish, which is the way things should be. The rider and the journalist from the same nation should take precedent and do that. It's not what happens
because otherwise
with
it's all in
Pogačar.
English.
They do Slovenian at the end, which, fair enough, there's probably less, Anyway. What they asked, and they think the Danish media asked, and they don't think that the Visma Leasebike press officers at the time realised, because they speak Dutch and English, basically, is they asked them about the carbon monoxide story that you probably have read on the websites. And Jonas Vingo was like, yeah, we do it. Fully understood it. And was like, oh, it's not that bad for your health. It's just like smoking a cigarette. Which, is one's not going to kill you, but it is definitely bad for your health smoking a cigarette.
Yep.
Crucially,
although actually, it's not the comparison I would have used, because the bits that kill you in a cigarette are not generally the CO, but
true.
Yeah, it's the carcinogenic other things.
Anyway, regardless, not the example you'd use either for when last year at the tour, which is the point I keep coming back to in my head, and I think maybe other people do as well. Is that last year at the tour, he said he would never take anything that he would give to his young daughter.
Yes,
which
he said out loud to us.
An emotive way to proclaim your innocence, basically, of any wrongdoing.
We've talked about. I mean, we feel like it was a silly thing to say anyway, because, for example, would you feed, as a father, Ian? Would you feed a 3-year-old nothing but high carb caffeine gels for about 6 hours?
It's a no from me. They're hard enough to keep under wraps without them.
Or the sport mix drinks.
I wouldn't even give them tart cherry juice.
So that was interesting. And then today, our colleague Jeremy Whittle from The Guardian asked Tadej Pogačar, with his 3 questions he does every day, beamed into the press room, the Yellow Jersey press conference, asked about the carbon monoxide story, asked for confirmation that he used it, and what his thoughts were on it ethically, I guess. And Pogačar sort of didn't. What he said was, "What's that? That my first thought when I heard that is car exhaust," which is also not the vibe you want to be giving off with this story of something that you definitely have. It's been confirmed that you do use the machine by your own team.
Yeah.
So don't know what's going on there. You would have thought that he may have been prepped on
maybe
question.
That was the prep, though.
Maybe
it was like, oh, just make a joke and diffuse it. You never know.
It's just it's just confusing, and I think we're gonna work. It's good that other media are asking the questions, so it's not just us saying it. Like, we want other people to ask questions and come find their own information. But maybe we'll try and tie together some vibes of what exactly has been going on. It's not anything, to be clear, it looks like more of a grey area than anything illegal. But I think the grey areas are always interesting to look at.
I mean, our concern, and the big part of the reason why we wrote the story, is the fact that, there are people contracted with, like, the best teams in the world that are actively looking into what is, in my mind, not really a gray area, right? Like I think full-on CO inhalation for performance gains, direct performance gains, is almost certainly going to be banned by WADA once they can figure out what to do with it. And, there are people working for teams looking into that. So that's a big part of the reason why we did the story. But what they were getting asked about is what we could confirm, which was that they were just using this sort of CO measurement thing, which, a lot of sports scientists made really clear, like, no, this is something that's been used for a long time. It's used in a medical setting, et cetera, et cetera. So, that part alone, it still might go against WADA code. We're not really sure because WADA won't respond to us, but it is...
Which is a shame.
Yeah.
They should.
It's weird that they haven't responded to us, actually. They've had like a week now.
Yeah.
Those are the questions that are getting asked of these riders right now, and the responses are interesting. And part of the reason you ask those, just to sort of like, I don't know, a bit of like how the sausage is made, right? You ask the questions so that you have them on the record.
Yeah. In front of more people.
In front of more than just yourself, right? And so, maybe you already know what the answer is going to be. Maybe that they've been prepped, but you still have to get it on the record for the same reason that getting anybody on the record is important should things change down the line.
Look,
and so,
at the end of the day, scrutiny is important and should, to some degree, when we have these protestations of new era of cycling cut from the past, it's important and healthy and should be welcomed that there is a level of scrutiny and it should be engaged with, in my opinion. Just my opinion.
The cicadas stopped.
Yeah, so they've gone to bed.
Maybe.
That's the thing about cicadas.
Is it a thing?
Really? I don't know.
I feel like they were just loud all the time.
Nah, these ones have... Maybe they're
listening.
Dazed and confused.
They're listening to the pod.
Good vibes this place is giving off.
I've got a few more things on the run sheet, but shall we... We could move them into After Dark.
Yeah.
Like,
We're going to hear from Jose.
Okay.
And then we're going to head to After Dark.
Yeah.
So tonight's bit from Jose. We've got olive oil. No, olives. Correction.
They can be fashioned into oil, though.
They can. And merino wool.
Which can also be... You can also get oil out of wool. Lanolin, which is really good for chapped lips and cracked nipples.
I'm wearing merino undies right now.
We saw a man at the start of the stage today with very pointy nipples.
We did. It was accentuated by...
He was a regular ass dude, apart from
he was wearing a
traffic
very tight
cone nips.
t-shirt. And we were walking past and we just...
Jose's going to love that as an intro.
Sorry, Jose. We will come back to olives. But it's important to have this on the record for public scrutiny.
Big J journalism here.
That as we were walking...
This is lowercase j.
As
lowercase j journalism.
All capitals journalism. As we were walking to the buses, a man walked past and I think Jonny said you could squeeze a lemon on those. And you could.
Yeah. You could.
Cool. So let's hear from Jose.
After about 31 kilometres into the stage, we pass through the town of Nîmes, and that's famous for its black olives. Spoiler alert, most of the black olives you find in supermarkets or on your pizza are actually green olives. Manufacturers pick all olives at the same time to save money and energy, and the longer an olive stays on the tree, the more risk they fall off or are no longer good. To prevent this, everything is harvested at the same time, and some olives are blackened. This is done with a chemical process where a caustic soda makes the bitter taste of a green olive disappear, and then they are dyed black. This is not the case with the famous olives of Nîmes. They are used for olive oil or as an apéritif with a nice glass of Provençal rosé. And the olives that grow in and around Nîmes are black and of a special variety called the Tanche. They're found only here. It is the strongest olive variety there is, with a very refined flavour, according to many culinary fans. Those olives are dried in the wind after harvesting, and that gives them a wrinkly appearance. The first pressing takes place in February. On the first weekend of that month, the Festival of Alicoque is held to celebrate the production of the new olive oil. The old olive oil mill in Nîmes is now a museum with a shop where everything exudes the adoration of the tiny olive. Loose olives, tapenadas, canned olives, olive soap, olive wood gadgets, and of course, olive oil. In vergine as well as extra vergine. And don't be shocked by the price, the oil is worth it. The Tange olive oil became the first to receive an appellation d'origine protégée and a seal of approval in 1994. The olives that you eat or that are used for tapenadas are harvested even later than the ones they use for the oil. They need a few more cold nights on the tree to get that extra special flavour and some extra wrinkles too. Just before our finish in the winter sports resort of Super Dévolu, we pass through the town of Dévolu itself. There you find a rather big herd of merino sheep. Merino wool is a product also used in cycling. The base layers of the Calais brand I, and Mathieu van der Poel for that matter, where in the winter time are made from merino wool, as probably a lot of brands do. It's not the look and feel you expect from woolen garments, and that is because these sheep produce a very special wool. The Mouflon sheep of Asia Minor are thought to be the ancestors of the sheep we find along the course, and that makes them one of the oldest breed of sheep in the world. It was domesticated after the goat around 8500 BC, but wool production only appeared in historical sources around 6000 BC. The sheep were then imported from Spain to France in 1780. These sheep are well adapted to the harsh climatic conditions and to the cold of the altitude of around 1500 meters in the region. Their winter wool is highly insulated, but in the summer the same wool is breathable and insulates them from the heat to keep them cool. The herd in Dévolu is shorn once a year in November, and its very fine, elastic and ultra-soft wool is extremely durable and perfect for base layers that are both thin, soft on the skin and insulating. I'm pretty confident the peloton won't need any merino base layers today, but trust me, you do for your winter rides.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's do a little Mayo Sable before we.
Yeah.
Is it Sable?
I don't know.
Mayo Sable.
It's
This
honestly,
is probably something we should have figured out
honestly
before
too
we've
late
been
in the
doing
tour
it for
to
like
change.
5
Yeah.
years.
I'm pretty sure Rupert said it Mayo Sable, and he was an actual French speaker, and so Mayo Sable.
puzzlingly,
Puzzling.
on a sprint stage, Enrique Mas has been dislodged from the Mayo Sable. He's moved down a place to 23rd and rising up to claim the yellow jersey that is now his. Wilco Kelderman.
Wilco.
Visma Lisa bike.
Can't imagine he'll talk to you.
Great band.
Well, and also tomorrow, the whole course driving situation is completely fucked. So
Good guy,
we might
better
not be able to
band.
actually go to the start. But Bart Lemons, he enjoyed the.
But that was before we did the big wrong thing.
I think Bart Lemon likes the Mayo Sable anyway. I think he's there like, don't like the story, but also did get a Mayo Sable. That's a shame. Did we talk about how we've lost? I think I might have mentioned on the podcast for the friends we've lost to the Mayo Sable who won't probably be getting unless they get a breakaway. Jack Haig, Tobias Halland Jonasson, and Odd Christian Eking. Which is a shame because I would have loved to have asked him about the honour of
You can just ask him about what his favourite odd Christian sects are.
His what?
Sects.
Okay.
Like different strains of odd Christianity.
Oh, I see. Got it. I'm slow today.
Sorry.
No. That was my bad. Escapecollective.com/TDF. $1 a month.
$1.
Yeah, big time. I'll tell you what. Remember Will, who we named and shamed before? Not only did he sign up, today he was watching the stage and was messaging in when he heard France TV sending sounds into the broadcast.
Oh yeah.
So there was
This
some
has become a
mooing,
thing.
So
and
he's
then there were
gone-
dogs barking.
He's gone from not a subscriber.
He's gone from
to
freeloader.
Like absolute.
Freeloader to contributor within like 3 days.
That's incredible.
It's great.
As some reference points for what you could get for $1, I know people love when we do this.
Yeah.
I went to a Carrefour near our hotel in Narbonne this morning,
Oh yeah.
looking for some Pringles, and I found some off-brand ones for €1.89.
Wow.
So you could buy only one, no, less maths.
Mm.
It's more or less the same amount as an Escape Collective membership.
Good stuff. Well,
Should we shame somebody else?
Yes, but before that, I was going to say another example was today, Caley and I managed to put 18 cents of diesel in our car.
Not just diesel, gasol.
Gasol diesel. So you could do that 5.5 times for the price of an Escape Collective membership. Today,
Can I do this one?
yes, you do it.
All right.
Sorry, yeah, you go for it.
So I'm going to do the details first,
Okay.
so that this person will just hear more and more about
The penny will
themselves,
drop.
and they'll be quaking in their boots.
Yeah.
So
Live doxing.
Rushing to get their card out of their wallet.
So if this person subscribed, he could probably finally sprint to 2,000 watts. Subscribing would also likely lead to better descending.
Oh, this is...
And Iain has a better mustache than this person, who lives in Golden, Colorado.
That's where they make
Coors beer.
Coors Light, yeah.
Also
Yep.
the world capital of average moustaches.
Drew,
Uh-oh.
Drew,
Come on,
what are
Drew.
you doing, mate?
Come
Drew.
on.
We know you listen.
Come on.
$1.
Just $1.
1.89 Pringle packets. Off-brand Pringles. In Narbonne.
Drew, head over to escapecollective.com/TDF. And anybody else out there,
Yeah.
if you don't want this to be you,
But also don't wait until we do name and shame you to subscribe.
and as a further reminder, if you send this in to us and your friend is actually quite angry about it, that's on you, not on us.
Yeah, not on us.
Yeah, that's
You were
just-
supposed to check
Yep.
the vibes of it.
You need to understand the vibes, check the vibes. So we hope that Drew takes this in the positive spirit in which it is meant.
Yeah, it's just let's get to After
Let's
Dark.
get to After Dark. I wonder what animals they're going to put in this time.